Team, welcome in. How are we? Do you know what I've done, which is annoying? I've lost the like the comfy part of this headphone, and I don't want to use it if it's not comfy. You know, so I'm just going to use one. That's fine. How are we doing? Oh, what day is it today? What day is it today? It is Thursday. Happy Thursday, team. We have... What are we doing today? We're going to do Sunshine Cup. Oh, Sunshine Cup. Gross. Gross. Where are we at? Okay. How is everyone? Who have we got here? David, Izzy, Thomas, Maxwell, Casino, Noxie, Sawley, how you doing, dude? Yeah, I flipped it. Maxwell, it was when you said, when I realized that you were like, Fred, I can't read anything because it's all flipped. I was just like, that's a good point. That's not convenient. So I was like, I can get over the fact that when I look at my own stream camera, that I'm flipped around on how I usually would see myself in like a mirror or things, which sometimes when you look at is like weird, right? Like when you see yourself the other way around. But then I was like, what does that matter? You know, who cares? If it's easier for you to read stuff, if I show you stuff, then that's what matters. Okay. I'm giving up on looking for my headphone sponge. Maybe I'm sat on it. I don't... Oh no, I found it. It was on the floor with the 4 peanuts from 2 days ago. Joking, I picked them up and ate them. Okay. Matt, how you doing? You can read the Kanto Showdown. Yeah, this is Blastoise vs Charizard, the Pokemon Battle of the Century. Did you know that Charizard is only 5'7"? No, sorry. Yes. Wait, I can't tell if that's 5'07". It says 5'07", but I think by that, does it mean 5'7", or does it literally mean 5'07"? I'm not sure. Anyway, Charizard's a short king. We are going to play some Sunshine Cup. Do I have something degenerate for you? Let's try this. Let's try this. I haven't put too much thought into this. All I know is that lots of people are using Flygon. Right? So, yeah, inspiration from my biggest fan, Martine. And we'll see how it goes. Guys, are we excited for Rage Fist Annihilate? That's what I want to know. Because I've realised that there's quite a lot of tournaments that it might be eligible for. We can check the calendar in a minute, actually. What's the strat with this? I assume I have to just... I don't need to shield, right? I'm not really sure. Is this the right thing to do? I don't know. I mean... I don't really care about Gastrodon. Oh, okay. I'll shield this one. We'll shield this one. I hope it's a Flygon in the back. Will they reach another one? That'll be annoying. Okay. Okay. Is there anything in the back that I can beat? Because I assume this Wiggly's going down to the Talonflame. Maybe if it's like a Shadow Swampert, right? Oh my goodness. This is why I don't like Sunshine Cup. What's the point? Chestnut. Jeez. Jeez. Maybe I should have shielded. Maybe I need to. Maybe you have to shield. Maybe you have to shield your Talonflame in the lead. Could play Ultra. Casino, give me an Ultra League team. I haven't built anything for Ultra League in a long time, though. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. This time, they'll have a Shadow... You think I've got a Shadow Fortress? That's a funny noise. I mean, I just to shield this. Oh, good shield. Wait, one Weather Ball doesn't take me out from here. So I'm laughing. Unless they do have Flygon in the back, and then I'm in trouble. Casino, did you know I actually considered Shadow Fortress for Louisville this weekend? What attack is this going to throw at me? This is going to throw something dumb at me, isn't it? I don't trust. I don't trust. Oh, it's just a brutal swing. That's fine. I'm gonna Brave Bird this, because if anything, I don't want to give extra rollouts. And who really cares? The Gastrodon's gonna sweep. It's fine. Noxy, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you. This Gastrodon's going to tonk this thing. Mud slap, baby. In Birmingham, actually do it. Well, we'll see what the meta's going to. The meta is actually due to change quite a lot over the next couple of weeks, right? 1 of 10 ads. That's a lot of ads. How can I change that? That's too many ads, right? Let me change that. I don't know how to do it. Maxwell, are you still here? Do you know how to do it? Stream? No. Oh, ads. It's not particularly obvious. Okay. How many minutes of ads do you want? Don't say 0. We're on a 1.5 minute ad break every 12.5 minutes. Seems like so much. Never have to watch again. Elliot, how you doing? Okay, let's go with that. Slightly more frequent, but slightly shorter is the only option I was given. That's all I can do. I don't have control. All right, we won a game, which is good. This is great news for us. Okay, so what is the calendar looking like for show 6. We've got Louisville this weekend. Guys, when you see the team that I'm going to bring to Louisville. Wow. Lille next weekend. When you see the team I'm going to bring to Lille. Wow. Different teams, different teams. How many events am I going to? As in, as a player, or just will be at? Which one do you mean? Oh, I'll be at a lot of them. I'll be at a lot of them. No, I haven't, Maxwell. I haven't fully decided on a team for either of them, but the team that I'm leaning towards for both of them are both very funny teams, based on the metas I'm expecting in NA, and then in Europe as a result of watching NA. Which plushie am I going to bring? I'm going to bring this bad boy. Although I did get a new plushie. Ooh. I got a. I'm gonna mid battle. Wait, they're gonna throw an attack in a minute, and then I'll get my other plushie. Okay. Next plushie that's just arrived. This, one sec. I'm getting acrobatics. Look at this. What do we think? Do we like this? It is. This was my first. Oops, I was supposed to wait for the damage to come through. This was my first like profile picture on Discord when I was just using like a random image of something. This is annoying. Well, superpower's gonna take me out, right? I don't know if the shield makes any sense. I don't think it makes a difference because they've got a rock slide. Sword slash. That is the kind of thinking I like. Damn. If only that Incinerate took it out. Then we win. You'll never forget the days of Bacon Bird. Those were good days. I missed having that as my. Was it a normal one or was it a shiny one? It was a norm. I can't even remember. I can't remember. But good plushie, right? Good plushie. I wish they did more shiny plushies. Put him next to you. Yes, dark shinies. That's my thing, guys. That's my thing. The things that I would do for a dark shiny. We need shiny cuties. You're right. We do. Is anyone playing anything exciting in Sunshine Cup? Does such a thing exist? Who knows? Unclear. All I know is that I'm facing Dunsparce lead every game. Which is kind of annoying. What would I say is the most important thing to reach high ranks? That's a good question. I don't know about most, like, I don't know if there is a most important thing, but I think there are quite a few key things that I think will help. One sec, what am I dealing with here? One sec. Let me come back to that question once I work out how to get rid of this thing. Okay, one thing that I think is important is not to get annoyed at this game. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule because there are people who do get annoyed at this game that still do very well. But I definitely don't think it helps you to get annoyed at this game too frequently. Learning your counts obviously helps. If you know your counts... This is funny. If you know your counts, that will help. Yeah, it's got to the point with the game that so much seems to go wrong that it's like there's no point getting annoyed at this. I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. I've never been a huge fan of blind format. You know, I can hit leaderboard, sure, but I've never been Maxwell, are you still here? Maxwell's like consistently one of the first to legend every season, without a doubt. No matter what the meta is, no matter what rotation's in. Oops. So Maxwell, what's your advice? How do you go from never playing this game to being as good as you are? Nice, that's a cool. Wow, I'm double resisted. I'm not going to win this game. Would I count as one of the first? I don't know, like when... I mean, you know, in terms of like... let's say the top page of the leaderboard is still like close to hitting legend. You're like in that mix, right? Like if I went onto the leaderboards right now, let's do it. Come look. If I went onto, what is it called? Leaderboard. Let's find little Maxwell. You're 10th. That's what I mean, right? That's what I mean. Yeah, but what is watching when you watch content? What are you doing? Are you watching what other people's teams are? Are you watching how they play? What are the things that you watch that you're like, that's where I learned? That, I'm not gonna lie, that Macargo was quite funny. Should we steal that? Should we steal Macargo? Good question, good question. I think it would... How does Macargo do into Dunsparce? 412 D. It's not great. I'm gonna try it. Let's go try it. Mag. Sure. Sure. Oh, I see. So Elliot, you're saying that because you're a lower elo players are more likely to copy whatever team Jonkus was using, and so you can then hard counter those teams. How you doing, Tom? Tom, do you have an Ultra League team for me instead? Because no, you're going to give me something spicy that I'm just not going to have. What the heck is this? Wait, are they going to have the grass in the back? I might need to protect this mag. If they have Chestnut, we have Wiggly. What else can we do? Look at these incinerates doing absolutely nothing. There it is. If they have double grass, we win, yeah. Superpower shouldn't take me out from here. It'll be close, but it shouldn't. Oh, they don't even have it. Awesome. Okay. They'll probably insta-throw, right? And I'll get a mud slap through. Uh-oh. Come back. We're going to shield and rock tomb them. We can do one more incinerate first. Wait, did they quit or do I win? I have no idea what a Makago attack stat is. Let's check. Learn CMPs. There's another thing that you should do. I don't know if they quit or if I actually 108.6. Oh, we do beat a superior. No way! Makago and superior have the exact same attack stat. That's funny. I didn't play with rank 1, so if they had a high rank superior, then that's why they lost that. 108.6. Am I going to invade America again, Tom? Yes, I am. I'm flying tomorrow morning. I am spending all day flying to Georgia, to Atlanta in Georgia, connecting flight to Louisville in Kentucky, landing tomorrow evening, playing Saturday, Sunday, spending the day, Monday, with our lovely American friends, and leaving Monday lunch-ish to get back Tuesday morning to start work. Okay, we safe swap Gastrodon. No, they're going to have a grass in the back. Oh well. I mean, they haven't come in with anything yet. That's a lot. I mean, they don't even have an attack. I mean, it doesn't matter because it'll be a Dragon Claw anyway. Now what do they do? Don't be a Talonflame. So this is Trailblaze. I'm not sure about this strat. They're at double, so... Okay. This isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work. Gains, thank you very much for the raid. Everyone coming in from Gain Stream, hope you had a good stream. Were you playing Sunshine Cup as well? This Dunsparce is annoying. Sergio, how you doing, dude? Oh, I didn't mean to shield that. This is bad. This is not a win. Can someone give me a good team, please? Wow, we live? We don't live. We don't live. Ow. Talon, Flygon, Chestnut. See, okay. That would be the dream team for us to face, right? Because the Talonflame would have to switch out. I mean, or they'd stay in and just lose. Wiggly on the Flygon. And then we can put Gastro back onto the Talonflame. Flygon, Cradily, and Alolan Rattata. Raticate. Interesting. What does Alolan Raticate beat in this meta? I've not played any Sunshine Cup yet, so these are my first games. What are we thinking? How long have we got this for? Does it change this weekend? I hope it does. How do I check? Let me check. Oh, good lead, finally. Let's go! They threw on alignment. The algorithm is wishing me luck in my battles. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why don't we shield again? Cause them some trouble. And now their rock slide's going to do very little. Tom, I will message you after the stream, or remind me after stream, and you will see. What was their lead? Oh yeah, it was the first one. This is quite smart because this can high horsepower the Makago, right? Oh, Veritas, if you've ever seen a team of mine, oh boy, you are in for a surprise when you see the abomination that I have cooked up. Okay, so we have to let this Makago go, right? Because we want the Gastrodon to close. Can the Gastrodon close? The Quagsire got quite a lot of energy. I think... Yeah, oh, it's so fine. And they gave us a mud slap. Stop it. Oh, appreciate that. The return of Skarmory. The return of... Shall I bring Shadow Basti? You're calling Shadow Piloswine? Easy. Easy. Okay, we go again. This is not a good cup format. This is just pray that you don't see the weirdest call breaker to whatever you're bringing. What's in the schedule? Sunshine Cup until October 15th? Oh, do they change on Tuesdays? Master League and Halloween Cup? What's that? Halloween Cup. Halloween Cup. Pokemon must be... Oh, yeah. Only Poison, Bug, Ghost, Dark, and Fairy. Poison, Bug, Ghost, Dark, and Fairy. Okay. That sounds fine. We'll see. We'll see. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm not... Actually, I will, because if they come in with the thing, I don't mind. We survive whatever this is. Do you know what I need to do? I need to stop saying survive. Because I always do this. And then I accidentally say it when I'm casting as well. I'm not supposed to. Maybe if I'd gone out quicker, I could have just charmed it down before it even got to a Scorching Sands. And then I'm in an even more dominant position. Okay, next time we'll do that. Why am I gonna get? Why am I gonna get cancelled? Why am I gonna get cancelled? And now we guarantee rock tombing whatever comes in, right? Which is usually going to be a quag or something. Which I don't even need to rock tomb, to be honest. Imagine if they had Earthquake. That'd be bad. Ooh, Mud Bomb. Okay. Are we counting? Do we know how much energy you're on? Oh, Aquatail as well. Shuckle? Wait, what do you mean Shuckle? It's a Halloween Cup Great League, right? Oh my goodness, it's Little Cup. No. What? What? Okay, team. Tell me your thoughts, right? Tell me your thoughts on how the rotations get rid of... Great. Okay, and I'll show you. Come look. This is the rotation for this week and next week, right? We've got Ultra League, we've got Sunshine Cup. Next week we've got Master League, and we've got Halloween Cup Little Edition. All right. This week, at least we have a 1500 CP format. Next week, we don't even have a 1500 CP format. And I used to play a lot of Master League, right? And I used to be like, oh, sweet, Master League's back. More recently, I'm a bit less fussed about it because I think since Zygarde came around, I was just like, okay, Master League's getting a little bit... It's not the same as what it once was, right? But I'm not a huge fan of not having Great League the whole way around. And I genuinely think that we should have Great League the whole season available, even if in certain weeks you can't get ELO from Great League. What are your thoughts on that? Do you like that idea? Do you hate that idea? What do you think? Actually, I can do it as a poll. Let's do it as a poll for you. So let me explain to you why. Currently, the most accessible format is Great League. The competitive format is Great League, right? Next week, let's say I'm playing Lille. I am playing Lille, but next week, if I wanted to test something new, I cannot test it in Go Battle League. The only way to test it is if I do practice outside of the game, and in no other game, in my mind, to my knowledge, can you not practice in game. So to me, this seems really bizarre. So I can understand that if you had normal ranked elo the whole season through, then you might say, oh, but that means there might not be as many players able to play the themed cups because everyone will be playing Great League, and so, you know, queues might be longer or whatever. And I'm like, okay, fine. Okay, I accept that Niantic wants people to be building new Pokemon for different cups and wants people to be catching new things. So what about a no elo format? So what I'll do is I'll put a poll and I'll say Great League all season round, and I'll say yes with elo, yes sometimes without elo. Wait. Okay, the first option is going to be yes always with elo, right? So that whenever you play it at any point in the season, you can rise or fall in elo. Yes, sometimes with elo is basically saying that it's available, but you can't just stick with Great League the whole season and rely on Legend in only one league. I'll put a don't care. Some of you might not care. That one's for you. No, there you go. Okay, we'll put that out. You got 2 minutes. Ready? Meanwhile, we will do the next battle. Get your votes in. Do you want Great League available? What's the week after? I assume Great League comes back here. Wow, it's not even Great League. It's Great League Remix. Okay, Great League. Great League is next available in what, 2.5 weeks? 3 weeks. Basically 3 weeks, right? Jeez. 3 weeks. 3 weeks until the next one. Wild. Okay. So confusion is 12. Okay, 9, 6, 54. What slide? That's not even good. Five. So they used 54. They were left with 9. They did 5 more. 5 times 6, 30. So they're on 39. They're at Body Slam now, so they'll throw a Body Slam. Nope, they didn't throw it. Which is fine, because we'll hit the giraffe. Oh. We're not going to reach the Icy Wind, so we'll throw this, and then we'll put a Gastrodon on them. Okay. The giraffe did one confusion, right? So it's on 12. So do we want to shield an earthquake? Yeah, let's shield an earthquake. Because now they're at a Psychic Fangs, but Psychic Fangs drops my defense, so now I can just go out, reset that. We'll Rock Tomb them. 5 out of the top 20 ranked Pokemon on PvPoker banned. Didn't they update what Pokemon are going to be banned? Do you remember? That we saw in the code that they were going to change the remix bans. Oh. Oh no, I could lose this. 50-50. Was a 50-50. They called it. Yeah, DRE as well, but that happens. That happens to the best of us. Pika, thank you very much for the sub. Appreciate you. How are you doing? Are you going to be at Louisville? Yeah, they've refreshed the list. So the current list, I believe, the current list that, or the original list that they sent, is no longer the list, and it will be different. Oh, I've just remembered that there's a YouTube chat as well. Sorry, dudes. I missed you guys. You've got no Pokemon built for next week's formats. Honestly, just my lights turned off. Honestly, I don't blame you. I don't think I have any little... Actually, I've got a couple of Little Cup things that I remember building when it first came out, because I was like, oh, like, it's going to be a fun little brief format. Like, we'll play it very, you know, very quickly. We'll never look back. I'll just build, like, 1 or 2 things. And then when they kept bringing it back, I was like, this is becoming a bit of a dust... Like, you're pouring dust into this. Bronzong, Maril, all of that kind of stuff. I was like, this is expensive. And this is not the point of Little Cup, which was supposed to be quick, easy, quick matches, cheap Pokemon. And I was like, that is not what this is anymore. Puppy season? That's exciting. Pika, tell me, what does puppy season look like for you? Okay. How do we beat the... That Greedent? Nothing to play during 4-star Stardust? When's that? Oh, Master League Halloween Cup is 4-star Stardust. 4-star? 4 times Stardust. 4-star. Just thinking of hundos. So I think we just start debuffing the Greedent? And then what do you reckon's in the back? Quagsire again? It's always Quagsire, right? Did you see my game just lag? And then it just paused and I was gone? Sigh. Okay, 9, I think. If I'm paying attention, there are 9. That doesn't do anywhere near as much as I wanted. That was lucky. Actually, it would be fine anyway, I think. Because the Incinerate would have gone through with the shield. They don't have anything... They can't hurt me, right? Trailblaze, is that the best they've got? Easy. I mean, I don't think a Trailblaze quite takes me out anyway, but don't think they're at 2 attacks. So it doesn't matter. Does not matter! Okay, this team kind of works. Oh, I didn't check the poll. How did we do? Yes, sometimes with Elo was the most votes. I think that's right. I think that's what I think as well. That we currently don't have a way of doing show 6 in the game, right? So we're already deprived from practicing the format that we want to. At least give us Great League. Has anyone got any events coming up? Is anyone playing Louisville? Is anyone playing Lille? Has anyone already got their eye on a future regional event or locals? Are you playing locals right now? There's a local very close to me this weekend that I'm not able to attend, which is sad. Always miss them. It's weird they don't give you unlimited unranked battles. Yeah, people have been asking for that for a while. I don't know if it's an infrastructure thing that they just don't, that they don't think that they can handle around people around the clock playing, and or if they don't want people to be playing the game non-stop at home. This is good. It might be the case that they just don't want people to be sat at home playing, and they think that if they were to release unranked all the time. The reason I'm not debuffing it at the beginning is I don't want to give them more fire spins. This thing's kind of annoying because it can bone club me. I'm going to let Macargo go because I don't think you're useful to me. You'll see me in Louisville. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. They don't need to accommodate everything for the 90 players who compete. I mean, I think that's their current reasoning, and it's one of those lines of reasoning that's basically like, oh, do you want it to be more than 90 players? Make your game accessible, or it's going to stay with the lower numbers that it currently is, right? Like, there's a reason that the Macargo would have been useful for me. There's a reason why the PvP player base is so small relative to the overall player base, and it's because it's like, well, it's not easy to play. And it's not particularly accessible or inviting a lot of the time either, so can't blame people. I think the part of the reluctance to PvP is lack of revenue from PvP, right? Like, you're not making money. You know the streams, right? Think about your streams that you're watching on Twitch. How much money do you think that they generate as a stream for Pokemon? How much money do you think they're getting from these streams? $10. Because most of the time they don't even allow subs, right? And do you know what that means? They get nothing. They get nothing from the streams. The whole point of the stream is marketing. It is marketing for their games. Otherwise, it's a cost. A tax write-off. It's just cost, right? So what was their lead? Anyone remember? Uh-oh, I'm gonna get quagged if this doesn't take out. I know it. Think. How do we do this? Now I'm in trouble. Sal, thank you very much for the sub. 12. I'm gonna get stone edged. I'm so done. My best bet is no. If only this was a sludge bomb. Where's the panda? Wait, is panda eligible? Panda's not eligible in this. There's no way panda's eligible. It would be, you'd be seeing it if it were. Dearie me, I do love the panda. Today was the first day you went positive in 2000 elo. Congratulations. You ran Dunsparce, Quagsire, and Jumpluff. Furfrou is fun in this cup. I mean, I don't know. Like, in my mind, this... it's all random. It's all random. Oh, I'm a genius. Look at this. So calculated. This is skill, okay? When this happens, this is nothing but skill. Where's my Shadow Obsta boost? Do you know what? Do you know what I haven't done? Oh, we've only got one more day and I'm flying all of tomorrow. I am a fool. I'm a fool. Okay, team. You're not flying all of tomorrow. Go and get Shadow Mankey, right? One for Primate and one for Annihilate. Make sure you get one of each. Whoa, we're against a Talon? I didn't even notice. Yeah, this is nothing but skill here, right? So Frenzy Plant? Get rock tombed. You're working from 8 to 7. That's a lot of hours of work. But make sure... Wait, hold on a minute. Do they get DRE? Why were they allowed to... That doesn't seem fair. This is what we refer to in the PvP community as skill. This cup. Yeah, okay. But no, seriously, guys. Catch Shadow Mankey. Don't evolve it. Just TM it. Actually, it doesn't make a difference if I catch any Shadow Mankey, because I have 0 TMs. But if I got a really good one, I would just delete TM it, because you got to do it. I have no Shadow Mankey and I have 0 TM, so I'm in a great situation. You did about 10 fighting grunts earlier and none were Mankey. Were they female fighting grunts or were they male fighting grunts? Because you need the female fighting grunt, I believe. I haven't verified that, but that was what I was told. All of your Shadow Mankeys are borderline unusable. Okay, I want you to tell me, what do you mean by borderline unusable? Does it mean like they only go to like 1460 CP? Is that what you mean? Oh, there is no male fighting grunt? Well, that's unfortunate. All fighting grunts are female? Wow, what a time to be alive. Do you reckon I can incinerate this down? That could be quite funny. I actually shouldn't have. No, this is going to be quite funny. I actually shouldn't have done that last charm. I should have got more incinerates. If they have grass in the back, and they're just playing water, fire, grass, I'll be fuming. You've only seen one shot. I haven't actually seen any Shadow Monkeys. 5-1-2. Okay, team, please. After this game, I'm gonna. Wait, hold on a minute. I just need. Oh no, I'm gonna lose CMP anyway. Pack size like 109, 110. Oh. I can't win this. No, they still reach another Aquitail, right? Darn it. Oh my goodness gracious me! There's just no way! Nice. Okay, so we're talking about IVs here, right? We're talking about IVs. And what I don't want, team, come look at all of me. Okay. What I don't want is for people to only think that if it's not a high rank, it's unusable. Because that could not be further from the truth. Like, yes, certain bulky Pokemon will benefit if they are as high rank as possible. But a lot of the time, based on the moveset of that Pokemon or the typing of that Pokemon, the IVs just are not the most important thing. They are not going to be the part of that Pokemon that let you down if you're losing. And I'm going to show you the first Annihilate that I used when I came second in Liverpool. I used, which one was it? This one. This was my Annihilate. Liverpool 2023. Liverpool 2024. These were my IVs. Sorry, you're not even on the phone screen. These are my IVs. Okay. Jamie, how you doing? See you in the YouTube chat. I'm good, team. I'm good. Okay, these are my IVs. 87, gross, right? Gross CP. But this was my first Licky Slayer Annihilate. And then I built the real Licky Slayer Annihilate. And that was this one. This one was a good Annihilate. No, wait, that's 8-4. This one was the good one. It has one more defense stat. And I built so many of these, and they're just like, they're random IVs, and it's just like, everyone in the PvP space for Play Pokemon became aware of this ridiculous Annihilate spread. But then you look at some of the other things that I've used in the past. I'm trying to think of a good example of something that I've definitely... Oh, my Venusaur. Okay, this was the Venusaur I used in Liverpool. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was like... Yeah, it's not optimal, I guess, but it got pretty close to 1500. It did the job I needed it to do. Yes, part of it was that it was shiny and I was persuaded by that, but mostly it's just like I needed a Venusaur, and that was the best one I had available. So that's the one I used. So don't worry about IVs. Mountain Dugong, basically what happened was I got the breakpoint against Pablon Dinas, and then I played Nighttime Clasher. And I saw that his Lickitung was best buddied, and I think it was a 1496 CP, and I realized it was the rank 6 best buddy Lickitung that just regained the bulk point back against me. So that annoyed me so much that I went and found an even higher attack Annihilate, and that's when I then found this one. CP's not important. Okay, the way I want you to visualize it is this. Come here. Okay, you see this jar. Watch me drink this. Okay, now it's an empty jar, which is what I need. Okay, this jar is your CP, right? When it's full, that's your 1500 CP. And the way that it works with attack, defense, and HP, imagine them as different size marbles or balls, right? Like imagine like a table tennis ball or a marble or a grain of sand, right? Imagine them like you've got different size things. The attack stat is like, I mean, this is a small jar, so let's just say the attack stat is like marble sized. Okay? It's like a marble. And so if you filled this whole jar with marbles, let's say you got 30 of them in there, your total stat product, let's just say for sake of this explanation, would be 30, right? You managed to get 30 of them in there. But defense and HP are like grains of salt and grains of sand. Not exactly relative to the marble in practice, but picture it like this, right? If you were to fill this with just salt and sand, you get so many more in. And so your overall stat product is way, way higher. Okay, and I'm going to show you that on PvPoke. Come look at PvPoke. Okay, so if I were to go onto this, and I were to show you the Annihilate, we talked about Annihilate, right? If I were to put in the stats of my Annihilate, can you see here how the stat product, the overall, is 1749? Now this is actually, it's an abbreviation. It's actually it's actually 17,000 or something. It's got 2 more zeros on the end, whatever that number would be. 174,900 or something. I think that's basically what it is. Or it's 1 million or something. 1,749,000. That's what it is. Times it by 1,000. And the reason is the overall number here, what that is the attack multiplied by the defense, multiplied by the stamina, and then just divided by 1,000 because it was just too big a number, right? So it was like rounded. Chaz, thank you very much for the sub. So the actual overall actually is 1,749,000. That's technically the stat product, but for sake of ease, what PvPoke does is it slashes the final 3 digits on. And so we just know it as 1749. It's not actually 1749, it's 1,749,000. Interestingly, Lugia was one of the first Pokemon that, if we take it to level 50, one of the first Pokemon actually went over 10 million stat product. Lugia was one of the first Pokemon that came into the game that had over 10 million stat product, because you have to remember it should have 3 more zeros on the end. Anyway, this Annihilate, the IVs that I ran in whatever my most recent event that I ran it in was 1749. And that's because I had way more attack stat than I did defense and HP. And so I had more of those marbles filling that jar. If I change this to, if I press maximize down here, if I press maximize and it goes down to 2 attack, Do you see how this went from 1749 to 1833? So my overall stat product increased. But now the question was about combat power, right? Your CP. This is your CP here, 1499. Does this make a difference? So what we'll do is we'll press 3 here. So this is a really low rank Annihilate, right? 1194. And it's a 1462 CP. But it has an overall stat product of 1762. Compared to my Annihilate, it actually has more stat product despite being 30 CP lower. So the CP isn't really reflective of anything other than you haven't reached the top of the jar. Because the jar says you can be up to 1500. Right? So let's think about Gudra as the next example. And Gudra is an interesting one. Because lots of people will say that this could be an example spread on a Gudra. 415.7 is what I've written in. Now, if I change, I want you to look at this stamina stat, because Gudra is interesting with its stamina. If I change the 7 from this stamina to 6, you go down to 113, right? If I change it to 5, you stay at 113. So if you've got a Gudra that's like a 415.6, you've actually wasted that HP stat because it didn't actually add anything. You gained some CP. Look at this. You gained CP. Look at the CP, 1492. You go from 5 to 6, 1496. In your head, you're like, oh, yeah, like cool. I'm close to 1500. But your stat never went up because that IV stat wasn't high enough when it rounds to give you an extra HP in game. So what you'd prefer to do is go back down to 5, and you'd consider, can I have an extra attack stat here? Look at that. Not only do you get higher CP, you actually gained attack stat, you gained overall stat product. And so these are some of the things that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not saying IVs matter, but like if you are going to look at IVs, have a think about these kinds of things. Don't worry about CP. Don't worry about CP. Because the CP doesn't really mean anything. Because if I have 5, let's take me down to 14, 6 there, right? So here, my 514.6, same example, right? 1500 CP. You think dreamy. You're like, perfect. I've got a bit of attack on my Gudra. You know, we like a little bit of attack, might win CMP, brilliant. You go, I've got high defense, I'm not losing any bulk points. I've got 6 HP, cool. I'm 1500, dream. I've got the perfect Gudra. No. Because if you took this down to 5, right? Look at this stamina stat, right? You're looking at this stamina stat here, 113. You take this down to 5, it's still 113. So there was no point having the 6. You may as well have had the 15, because then your defense does go up. And I spend way too much time on PV Poke, okay? So, like, these are just things that I picked up just because I'm, like, flicking through different IV spreads. But I would still say that for the average player, your IVs aren't going to be the reason that you win or lose a game most of the time, right? There might be the odd game that you're like, IVs matter, but most of the time, it's really, really not, right? It's really not. Anyway, let's go back to losing some Sunshine Cup games. Hey, we went positive. I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest. So you said just for the sake of time, if you're not playing Show 6, just build the highest rank? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't think that's always true. And the reason is because in certain metas, certain Pokemon, you're very likely to be in a mirror match. And I'm going to give you the example of Sunshine Cup last rotation. Sunshine Cup last rotation, Vigoroth was the Pokemon. And if you lose CMP with your Vigoroth in that meta, that can flip that whole game straight away. So, you know, you could build the highest rank and it was just like, well, great. I lose CMP every single time. Every single time I guarantee losing CMP. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a bit like, just be mindful of it. Just be mindful of it. Arrow, how you doing, dude? Arrow, I'm looking forward to seeing you again this weekend. Arrow and I have been spending lots of quality time together when I turn up at regionals that I'm not supposed to be at. You have a heavy attack Scarm? Yeah. I mean, I love... Oh, okay. I'm going to show you something. Stop. Okay. Team. I'm going to give you a bit of tech. Okay? That if you didn't know this, right? This can change the game for this matchup. Okay? Come look at this. Now, a 1-turn attack. 1 turn, half a second, right? Breakpoint means when you reach a certain attack stat that tips you over and does 1 extra damage every time your fast attack lands. And so for a 1-turn attack, every half second you're doing 1 more damage. Every second you're doing 2 more damage, right? Makes sense. And so one of the things that happened in the last season and last year and things is people were looking for Altaria Dragon Breath breakpoints against Cresselia. That was a key thing that top players were looking at. Okay, because that made the matchup for Altaria so strong. Really, really strong. 1-turn attack breakpoints can be really OP. Now, what 1-turn attack Pokemon has recently entered the meta? Obviously, Malamar. And there is a very, very key breakpoint for Malamar that means you may have Inkay in your storage that you've probably thrown away because you're like, oh, this isn't high rank, I'm just going to throw it away. This is why I'm saying, like, before you do that, just have a check of some of these things, right? Or tune in, I can do it for you and I'll just tell you what they are because I'm happy to share this stuff. Okay, look at this. This is a Malamar versus Toxapex. Okay. And when they battle in the 0 shields, let's just use 0 shields, Malamar loses because Toxapex is so bulky, right? Toxapex has such a high defense stat. Look at this, 228. Such a high defense stat that a super effective Psywave still does 2 damage. By comparison, if I put a Clodsire in and press battle, oh no, Clodsire's a bad example. Let me put a Mirror Toxapex in. A Mirror Toxapex that has a resisted Poison Jab also does 2 damage. That's how high Toxapex's defense stat is, right? But Malamar can hit a breakpoint against Toxapex. So this 0 shield scenario. This is Malamar, Psywave, lots of them, throwing a foul play, but because of the Sludge Wave and the Poison Jab damage, it gets taken out and loses the 0 shield scenario. What if we give Malamar some attack? It's at 117 at the moment. You can see that attack stat there, right? Let's take Malamar to 122.2. And we press battle again. And now every Psywave, instead of doing 2 damage, is doing 3 damage. And that 0 shield scenario, Malamar now wins. This one is massive. And if anyone was watching the Dortmund stream, there were a couple of players that I noticed, right? That had this breakpoint. Because I was looking at their opponent's Toxapex. I was casting, right? But I wasn't casting the games, otherwise I might have said something. But also I didn't really want to say something because I was like, oh, I don't want to give their strat away in the middle of their tournament. But we're in between events now, so now it's free game, right? I was watching these Toxapex and I was like, oh, they're going down way quicker than Toxapex is supposed to go down. The attack on that Malamar must be massive, okay? This is huge. Look how dominant that matchup now is for Malamar, right? You're winning all of these shield scenarios. You're only losing when you're in the 0 to 1s or the 0 to 2s. Huge, right? Huge. So these are the kinds of attack stats. And how do you find this, right? If you don't know how to find this, I'll show you. So I'll put it back to what it was before, which is they were rank 1 versus rank 1. You're on this bit, you scroll down, you scroll down into these depths. and you see this section, breakpoints and bulk points, and it says Malamar can reach the breakpoints below against this Toxapex, right? Because bear in mind, this is a rank 1 Toxapex. If I used a lower rank Toxapex, then you wouldn't have to hit as high an attack stat. It says, if you hit 121.97 attack, you reach the damage. And helpfully, PvPoke has really helpfully shown you that the top level NIVs, what this means is, if you were to press this is clickable, this will give you the maximum bulk Malamar that hits this attack stat. Okay? So if you click this, that's the 631 that I entered. And it automatically enters 631 over here for you. And that's how you see it. How do you respond to this? How do you respond to this information as someone who wants to use Toxapex? You go, hold on a minute. People are going to start running high attack Malamar. What's a reasonable attack stat for a Malamar? Well, look, they're going to 122.2. So at what point will we see a shift in the meta for this Toxapex to suddenly drop down to 9 HP? And you say, do you know what? I will sacrifice, what HP was it before? Was it 14, 15? I will sacrifice, so you're going from 120 stamina to you say, I will sacrifice 4 HP. But in return for that 4 HP, I regain my bulk point. And this now only does 2. Because I was losing 1 every second. Sorry, 2 every second, 1 every half second, yeah? At the cost of 4 HP, I now get my bulk point back, and I now win the zeros again. So that's what I would expect, right? People aren't going to be ready yet. Okay, so I would still expect in Louisville for there to be Malamar getting the breakpoint against Toxapex. Give it a week, give it 2 weeks. People will go, hold on a minute, I don't want to lose that bulk point. I would rather build a high defense Toxapex. If you have one available, I'd probably build that now. Right? I'd probably build it now. And so this is why, when I say when it comes to IVs, it's not always just about the highest bulk. Because here, the highest bulk Toxapex loses to high rank Malamar. But the highest defense Toxapex can reclaim it. I don't know, I find this kind of, I'm a bit of a nerd about this kind of stuff, but I find it kind of interesting. And I like seeing how people in events adapt to this kind of information. Because top players do. Top players will be paying attention to this. There is not a breakpoint versus everything, right? Just because there are some key breakpoints, it doesn't mean that Malamar can reach a breakpoint against everything. I think I saw someone ask if there's an Azuma or a breakpoint. I don't think there is. So it's not everything, but there are some key ones. And also, you can reach breakpoints against things that don't matter as much, right? That wasn't an important breakpoint to hit. It didn't flip the matchup. It didn't really balance out or outweigh the loss of bulk and things like that, right? So it's not everything. Are we expecting them to shield? Do I bait a Rock Tomb? I don't think I should. I think baiting a Rock Tomb would be bad. No worries, no worries. If you guys have any questions, I am always happy to answer and do these things, because we all learn, right? That's the point. I don't think that the game explains enough, and I don't think that there are enough resources out there explaining a lot of this stuff. So, oh no, actually this is fine, because our Makago will come back in and deal with it later. Any advice for a hard stuck 2k elo trainer? It's okay. Yes. Yes, after this battle, I'll tell you what I would do. So I didn't want a CMP there because I know that my Rock Tomb's going to take it out, and I know that they would just throw on CMP. Oh, nice. You transferred the Mankey already? Four, 5, 6, 7. Like, do they bait? Do they not bait? I don't know. Oh, it's a water pulse. Wonderful. Did I CMP? Have they given me a win condition here? Doesn't make a difference. Hold on a minute. How much health did the Diggersby have? Doesn't make a difference. Talon has way too much. Okay, so you're playing GBL and you're like, oh, I keep losing, or I keep whatever's happening to me here, just, you know, the battles are all random. What team do I run? What you can do is you can go to this website. This is called Go Battle Log. Okay, literally just type in Go Battle Log, find it. The page looks like this. And you can say, okay, I'm playing Great League, I'm playing Sunshine Cup, and my elo at the moment is, if you're around 2000 elo, this is my elo. And then this will tell you what the trending teams are. This says, hey, look, these are the kinds of teams that are being reported at the elo that you're at. And if you want to get creative, like if you want to copy someone's team, sure, copy someone's team, copy a content creator, YouTube, whatever. But just remember that if you've seen their content, someone else probably has as well. But what you can do is you can have a look at these trending teams and you can say, hey, look, I am seeing a lot of ground in the lead, right? Quag, Flygon, Swampert, Quag, right? And then you can start to think, well, if these are the trending teams, why don't I try something that beats these teams? But what you've got to remember, and this is why I think that sometimes people struggle with the idea of algorithms and things like this, right? Is what you've got to remember, let's say you win, let's say you go 5-0 because you did this. And then you go up to the 2100s. Do you see how it's completely different up here? Right? All of a sudden, the meta changed. And then you go, oh, now I'm losing. I'm now being hit by the algorithm. Without really thinking that actually the team compositions at different elos are different. If you're watching, I think Tho was streaming, he might still be streaming, I don't know. He was streaming and you're like, oh, look at what he's facing. Maybe I'll copy his team, or I'll build something that's good against his team. It's like, well, it doesn't matter, because at every different elo range it's completely different teams. So this could be something, this could be a resource that if you wanted to try and come up with your own creative teams, could be quite fun. One pick that I wanted to try was Shadow Ursaring, but I ran out of TMs, so I can't use it because I don't have Swift, and it needs Swift, otherwise it's not really usable. Team Builder on PV Poke, yeah. For Show 6, Team Builder on PV Poke can be useful. For Great League, I would use PV Poke to give you an indication of what you're weak to, but probably that would be the extent of it. I would be more mindful of the teams that you're actively seeing in practice than hypothetical Pokemon that you could be weak to, right? If PV Poke says, oh, you're really weak to, like, let me give you an example, read all of these. If you're really weak to, what do these even say? Galarian Stunfisk, which is here, right? You're really weak to Galarian Stunfisk, and it's like, well, look how few I'm likely to see. Yes, if I see it, let's say I lose, right? Oh, I lose because I'm triple weak to that. If you're only seeing one in every day of playing, it doesn't matter. Like, hope they make a mistake, right? You can still win if they make a mistake, but don't change your team just because you are weak to something. Like, focus on the things you're seeing lots of. You're seeing lots of Quagsire, you're seeing lots of Flygon. That's why we're suddenly seeing a rise in stuff like Abomasnow, stuff like Whimsicott. This is Go Battle Log. I'll post it in the chat for you. There you go. And YouTube, you can have it too, guys. So there's the link. If you want to, if you want to support them, I think you can pay a little bit of money and you get more information, and it can like help generate teams for you. If you're willing to do that, sure, go ahead, support them. But there is enough on the free site as well. So this can be something that's useful. While we're talking about all of these IVs and various things, we can also have a quick look at this com day. So we are expecting Annihilate and Primate to receive Rage Fist. But before we do that, let's just have a quick look at Shadow Annihilate against the meta. And the only thing I care about at the moment is, are there any breakpoints that you can get on counter? And I'm just going to show you how you might find one, right? So when you press battle, this meta here is one that I've created based on the Pokemon that I usually see in Show 6, because I mostly play Show 6. I don't play GBL particularly seriously, but I play a lot of Show 6, and these are some of the Pokemon that I've seen a lot of, so I made a custom meta. That's all I've done there, and I just named it Max Out. And you can just do it based on the things that you see and or expect to see as well. Okay, so here's the Annihilate, and in the 2-shield scenario, actually Annihilate looks pretty good, right? You got to pay to see. Yeah, you can pay money to have access to more features. You don't need all of the features, but if you want to pay money to see more features, then I think that's pretty fair and reasonable, right? Because they obviously put a lot of work in collating this information. Here's your Shadow Annihilate. You're actually winning quite a few 2-shield scenarios because you can just counter through quite a lot. Even though the energy generation is reduced for counter from 7 to 6, the damage is still the same. So the damage is still the same. You're still putting in a chunky amount of work against the meta, right? The issue is, because your energy generation is lower, when you look at stuff like the 1-shield scenario, all of a sudden your averages slowly drop. There's it's down to 500, and there it's down to 442, right? Which isn't very good. So Annihilate's not seeing a ton of play at the moment. I mean, this is a Shadow Annihilate. If you want to see if there are breakpoints, right, you can add another Annihilate, and you can just add some attack, right? Let's just add 6. Let's just add some attack. So we've gone to 1, 2. This is actually quite a lot of attack, but it's fine. That's maybe too much attack. Let's go to... Oh, that's the same amount of attack. Let's do a 4, 13, 13. That's reasonable. Then we can do an... Let's give us an 8 attack. Okay. So we've got 3 attack stats here. We've got 122.2. Oh, interesting. Remind me about this. 122.2. Remind me. 123.3. And here's a 125.5. A bit of a jump here. And all I'm interested in here is I don't really care about the averages in here. All I want to say is press battle, and I just want to see what are the breakpoints. And this will now tell me... Oh, that one's not a shadow, that's why. This will now tell me that when I went from 122 to 123, I picked up a Mandibuzz breakpoint. So every counter I land, I do 1 more damage. This tells me that when I went as high as 125.5, every counter I land does 1 more damage against all of these Pokemon. Now, sure, you're doing 1 more damage, right? Interesting, right? But are you losing damage as a result of the lack of bulk? The answer is, well, actually, look at this one. This one I left loads of defense on, and it had no HP. So the high defense, high attack, no HP stat doesn't lose any bulk points. For what it's worth, these are the kinds of things that I usually run in Show 6. Right? I usually have high attack, high defense, and I don't care about HP. Personally. Some people don't like that, right? Some people are very much the opposite. They're just like, no, we want bulk. Every player plays differently. Me personally, I give no respect to HP. Do I have a promo code? No, I should ask them, shouldn't I? I should do those things where I'm like, use my code to Get 5% off. I need someone to sponsor me. Okay, here. So here are the bulk points that you're losing. Okay. Wiggins, I hope it goes well for you. By the way, I hope it helps. Let me know how you get on. But then you can check your battles. And now this is interesting. I always find this interesting, right? Your record for the high rank says you've got 15 wins, 12 losses. Okay. And your record for the lower ones says 14. You dropped something. It says, oh, look, you've dropped an Araquanid. And with this one, you've dropped a Quagsire and a Toxapex. And almost a Feraligatr as well. But your average here, this one's lower at 532. Use code antagonist. But this one's higher at 544. What does that mean? That means on average, this Annihilate is performing better against the meta that you put in, even though it drops one matchup in the overall record. And so then what I do here is I go, right, well, how much do I care about these matchups that I've dropped? Now, in this example, I do care about Toxapex. I want Annihilate to be beating Toxapex. So I'm like, well, I'm not probably going to run this spread Annihilate because I don't want to lose to a Toxapex. Quagsire also expecting to rise in usage over the next coming weeks, so I don't want to lose that one either. But Gastrodon would be quite a nice thing to pick up. So these are kinds of things that you're thinking about. Bear in mind that all of this, someone's going to have to do when we get Rage Fist, because these results are without Rage Fist. We don't know what Rage Fist is yet. We're expecting Rage Fist to be 35, 40, or 45 energy. I think 40 would maybe be reasonable. I think 35 might be a bit strong, and 45 might not be as impactful as we might want it to be. So I think 40 would be reasonable. 45 if they want to be really safe, but they've got a move update coming at the beginning of December anyway. So if there are any horrendous problems with it, you can... oh, can you sim it with 40 already? Let's try that. Rage Fist. Close combat. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Duplicate. This is good, right? 550 is strong. When you hit 600, you're just like, wow, this thing is absolute tank. Absolute smashing the meta. So Registeel in the zeros a couple of seasons ago was hitting 600s. Wigglytuff in the twos was hitting 600s, but then really bad in the zeros. So it's a balance, right? But this is interesting. Here, your Shadow Annihilate is picking up a Toxapex that your high rank Shadow Annihilate doesn't get in the 2-shield scenario, which is interesting. What about in the ones? In the ones, do you see how it suddenly drops? Right? In the ones, it suddenly drops, and so all of a sudden, this high attack Annihilate, when it no longer has access to the shields, isn't performing anywhere near as well, and you're losing that Toxapex. And then the zeros. Interestingly, look at this. The high rank Annihilate has that best average, but a worse win rate than the high attack one. The high attack one getting that Toxapex. And when we look at the breakpoint, these breakpoints, but there's no... Are we back? Let me know. I don't know. Am I back? I'm trying to fix it. sure what's happened, to be fair. Are we back? You tell me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm back. Both streams are back. Should I carry on? What was the last thing I said? What was the last thing you remember me saying? We're so back. We're so back. Okay. So we were looking at annihilate spreads, were we? We're so back. Okay, cool. So this is saying so can you see here? No, I don't know if chat's delayed. I'm just I'm just trying to remember what I was talking about because I've lost my rhythm. We were looking at breakpoints. We were looking at breakpoints for Toxapex, right? And we actually don't reach a breakpoint on Toxapex with this annihilate, with this Shadow Annihilate, but it's saying we're winning. So what I find interesting is I'm like, why are we winning this matchup? And so I don't want to just believe it. So what I'd usually do is I'd click into it and I'd go and take a look. And my page is being slow, so I'm not even going to bother doing that. And part of the reason might be this, right? Part of the reason might be that you actually pick up breakpoints on your charged attacks. So it's saying that on one of your charged attacks, you're doing more damage. So that could be a reason why you win this matchup despite not having a fast attack breakpoint. And so when you're then plugging in stats for a Shadow Annihilate, you're not looking for a fast attack breakpoint necessarily if the charged attack breakpoint is the reason that you win the game. But this is all speculative. This is all speculative on what Rage Fist is. So this is assuming Rage Fist is 40. Can you see here that despite close combat being resisted, it actually does more damage? And so this is saying that in order to win the zeros against a Toxapex, you throw a Rage Fist and then a close combat and you take it out. And if you're not aware of that that's the way to play it, that's then how you lose. Potentially. That's how you lose, right? Look at that. If you went double Rage Fist in the zeros, you lose. But if you go Rage Fist into close combat, you win the zeros. It's pretty crazy. It is overwhelming. It is. It is. It is. Oh, you're talking about Go Battle Log? That's definitely overwhelming. But even PvPoke sometimes can be a bit like, you almost want someone else to do it and then just tell you what they found, because sometimes it's hard. But I think Shadow Annihilate could be very interesting. And I think normal Annihilate will still be interesting if you don't have one. I won't have a Shadow Annihilate. I do not have a Shadow Mankey unless I get one. Unless I get one before my flight tomorrow morning. I will not have a Shadow Annihilate for a long time. Until the next Rocket event, I guess. Internet is bad. Team, I might have to throw you into a different stream. This is it's annoying me, the amount of buffering and lag. I don't want to put you through this. So I will play Louisville this weekend. I will bring something horrendous, disgusting, and hilarious, and we'll see how we get on. Okay. And if it goes badly, this happens to the best of us. So I will be back next week. Yeah, I'm gonna raid someone else just because if it keeps messing up, I don't want to mess you guys around either. So I'm gonna fly to Louisville tomorrow. I'm gonna be competing there. We will see how we get on with what I've cooked. And then I will build something more sensible, probably for Lille afterwards. Yeah, I know it's fine, but like I'm currently trying to hotspot from my phone to my computer, and it's just like I don't know how long that's gonna last, and it could get buffer and things. But yeah, YouTube is struggling as well. So we'll raid Shomez. Team, I'm sorry I've had to cut it short, but thank you very much for listening. I will be back next week, and we can go over a lot of stuff again if you missed anything. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed what we did cover. You know, I'll do plenty more of these kinds of streams. So we'll do next week. Tune in next week when I'm back from Louisville. Maybe with a medal. Who knows? Maybe not. Otherwise, hope you enjoy the rest of your days and evenings.